Hello, this is Vladdy here with a new video, and this time I'm doing something different. I'm going to show you how to create your own clothing on IMVU. Now, I usually make mesh heads. That's pretty much the only thing I was making at a time. I'm taking a big break from mesh heads to focus on clothing. I find myself struggling to find clothing I like to wear in the shop. So I'm going to start creating my own clothing and putting it in my shop for other people who want to wear it. The shirt we're going to make is this shirt. And if you know where I got this shirt from, congrats. I got it from a rapper I quite enjoy. I'm not his biggest fan, but his music is good as Ugly God. Uh, this is the shirt right here. See, I'm going to be using two images. I'm going to be using this mostly for the sleeves, and I'm going to be using this and try to grab that because it's nice and bent. You know, it gives the shirt more texture. And the Japanese kanji here is much, much closer to the kanji here. So I'm going to be doing a lot of editing, but don't worry. If you have a simpler design, it works too. This is just me really making a shirt for my shop and giving you guys step-by-step guides. So here you have the texture, and I don't have the UV map because I didn't save that, and the texture is long. I mean, like all that stuff is long gone from the derivable page, but I did have that still saved on my hard drive. I made it white because it comes in a cream color, and I don't need that. White is much better color to work with. So the first thing we're gonna want to do is duplicate this layer. I always like to duplicate my layers because it gives me an extra copy in case I mess up. Next, you're going to want to make a new layer. This is to make it black, and you can make it any color you want. For example, let's say I wanted to make it red. Assuming your texture is already white, you just paste in red, and you could either do, I believe it's multiply, yeah. You can lower the opacity, and it gives you different tones. You could do multiply. Me, I'd go around here, but you know, to each his own. And I believe overlay works. Nah, that makes it pink. I forgot. What was it, color? Something else works too, but honestly, to me, multiply is the only one that really works. Yeah, I guess it's multiply. And mind you, I'm using GIMP, by the way. I'm not using Photoshop. I should start using it, but whatever. Uh, I'm not going for red, though. I'm going for black. So here I would fill in black. Multiply is not going to work, though. For here, you're going to want to do I believe it is a grain merge. Yes, a grain merge. And you're going to want to duplicate and then lower the opacity till you get right around here. Let's test it out. By the way, I will link the final shirt in the description. It is going to be an AP product. Hentai shirt texture. This is going to be a AP product, and okay, because general audience, I don't want to get in any trouble. So here it is. It's black, and you see it has textures. I'm gonna do a lot more editing than this, guys. But if you want, you could just put a logo on here, slap a logo. You could just change it. That's pretty much what shirts are. They're just cloth with text on it, cloth with a design on it. Okay, I'm not gonna make this too complicated. Even though what you're about to see might be complicated to you, that's because I'm a complicated person. All right. So what I do for some added in texture, good thing I duplicated. I'm gonna duplicate it again. And let's put this at the bottom layer so I know where it's at. And I'm going to invert this, and that basically flips the colors inside out. So what's white turns black, and what's black turns white. That's the best I can explain it. I'm going to lower... Oh, I messed that up. How do I do this again? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Let me just turn the colors. Even I make mistakes still. You want to hit multiply. And what that does is it brings out the folds, okay? It enhances the color. You guys might not be able to see it, but trust me, it's enhancing the color. And I'm gonna lower it a little bit so that it's not too black, but it's just black enough. 70, okay, that's too light. So let's try 80. I think it was 80 at first. This thing is very sensitive. 75, perfect. All right, so when you save it like that, let's test it out. Okay, did I save it correctly? Because I'm not seeing a difference. Let's lower this to 70 then. I feel like the mesh is tripping. Let's try this again. There we go, it got lighter. Okay, so this is the color, about the color I want. I don't want it too black where you can't see the folds, but I also don't want it too light so where it's like a gray. This is as dark as I can make it. Which I notice a lot of clothing in real life isn't actually completely black. One thing I noticed is like a lot of my shirts and pants, after time they will reveal like it's actually just a darker like blue. It's a darker green. I'm not talking about really, really dark. Uh, rarely have I seen my clothing after time could stay black. Even then, sometimes the color will wear off. It's still black, but it's slowing down. But here I like this texture. So what I'm gonna start doing is first I have to pause and pull up some files real quick. Okie dokie. So I have everything ready. Sorry about that. All right. So right now I grabbed my logo, and what happens if you put it here? You will see it is already a layer. Because of this layer, I have it on multiply. Now multiply only works on things that are white and I believe gray. Or you could do an overlay, which, okay, man, I'm an idiot. That's what I was supposed to do, overlay. But for now, let's put it back on multiply and then add another layer. Duplicate that layer and then overlay it. Let's put the overlay at the bottom. And then you just slowly, I'll put that on 10 because it's very powerful. Put that on 10 and keep the multiply up, we're fine. I maxed out the multiply and put the overlay on 10%. See, not a big difference, but to me it makes a huge difference. 20% actually. Like I said, I'm a little complex, but right now if you're basically just trying to make a different colored shirt, you did it. Let's go to adding logos. Here, as you can see, the texture is affecting the folding of my logo. But right now, I'm not going to use this logo. I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to use this logo really at the end. Let's start putting the text on it. So once I upload this texture again to the right consistency, all right, perfect. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the sleeves because that should be, to me, the easiest part. So you just copy that, paste it. And if you're not super new to texturing, if you're not super new to all that, the sleeves are right here. Okay. I like it when creators name their files, but like they name the section. Like I believe, let me see what's in the front. By looking at this, I can tell you the front is, this is the front, this is the back, and these are the sleeves. One thing I really like is that, let me work and talk. One thing I really like is that the sleeves are actually, the left and right sleeve is separate. Usually measures to save space and file size and all that stuff, they would make the sleeve one. So like basically they give you one sleeve to texture and it works for both left and right sleeve. Right now I am basically cropping out what I want. That is the right sleeve. Just like I would a mesh head. I just cut that out. Let's put this at the last layer because I might need it later. And then I'm pasting it. Okay, I use, by the way, I get this question a lot. What am I pressing? I'm pressing Control and X to copy or cut, and Control and V to paste. Alright, so it's the same thing as right-clicking it and going to Edit and Cut, and then right-click, Edit, and Paste. Okay, it's really simple. Really simple. So people might not know how to get rid of the black text. Honestly, you could just hit, if this is black and white, it only works on black and white really. You hit screen. But something is wrong here. This is off black. So what you want to do is you want to go to desaturate and see which one works better for you. To me, luminosity always works, but it's still not done. You want to go to brightness and contrast, and you want to bring the contrast up. You don't want to bring it too up, see, because it's going to make these words pixelated. I want to bring the brightness and contrast up a little bit. Let's say 35 for this. And you can make it darker if you want. I like to make it a little darker. Same level as contrast. So here, before, after. Boom. Now if I hit normal, you're going to see the black text now. But screen, that's what you want. And let's see. We're going to need to duplicate this. Oh, okay. I know what to do. Rotate. Because I'm going to have to mirror it, and I don't want the kanji backwards. So, oops. Wait, let me see something. Oh, by the way, to undo, you hit Control and Z, or you can go to Edit and Undo right here. I like shortcuts though. I've been using them since forever. So what I like to do is go to Layer, Transform if I want an accurate rotation instead of manually rotating it. And I guess my manual rotation is pretty good because that looks the same, so I just wasted time. Reset that. Let's lock it to keep it a good size, and I think this is a good size for it. And I'm going to rotate a little bit more because I feel like it's still a little too crooked. Even though the image itself was already given to me crooked, I could still superimpose something on it. So, and let's push this layer here so that the fold's affected. Hopefully YouTube doesn't ruin the quality of this video too much so you can see everything. And let's test out the sleeve. Looking good, looking good. I'm going to move it a bit down though. And I'm going to make it a little brighter. I feel like the text is a little too... Oops. You want to use the contrast, bring the contrast up. Let's bring it up 15. And I like that placement. I love that placement. It looks good. See, very close to the real thing, very close to his. His is a little smaller though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer to keep it. Let's try a smaller font. Let's see if I like a smaller font, a smaller size, I should say. Let's shrink it to about that size. And I do a lot of things by hand. I don't use numbers. I was never good at math. That's not true. I was okay at math. I was good at math in college. In high school, I was horrible at math. But that's off topic. So let's see, because Ugly God's shirt is a little smaller. Now this I actually like a bit more. But I won't throw away the other one. I'll actually save it for another time. Matter of fact, let me save it now. Desktop. There we go. You always want to save your progress like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip this and make it upside down. Now the reason why I'm going to make it upside down is so it still makes sense on the shirt. Because if you make it backwards, people are going to read it backwards. You don't want them reading it backwards. Matter of fact, see, for example, like this. Actually, I think I could do this differently. I think if I'm really bad at this, by the way. You're going to see a lot of my flaws. If I flip it horizontally. And then flip it. That's the same thing, basically, I'm just doing. Flipping it upside down. Anyway, I'm just going to make it upside down just to take out. Actually, no, that worked. So now they're both still... they're both still readable if you're Japanese. I don't even know what that says. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to... Oops, I messed that up. I'm going to flip it. Wait. Oh, crap. There's shortcuts? Oh, cool. I'm going to flip it upside down. Then I'm going to make the layer bigger. And then I'm going to flip it like that. Just so it can perfectly be even with the other side of the shirt. You guys might have to repeat that. It's hard to explain, but there you go. Now, still very legible to me because they'll read it that way. What's that sound? I don't know what that sound is. I hope you guys can't hear it. So now I got it on both sides, and it's still bugging me though. I might just, let me see. That's still bugging me, and I'm not known to be a, let me just steal the other one then. Wait, I don't have to copy it. See? Thinking ahead, I still have the layer right here. Let's just take the other side because they already figured out, because I don't want anything upside down and I want to get this image as close to the real thing as possible. I'm gonna have to get this little white part. I'll show you how to take that off too. Alright, Control X, go paste, boom. Now I really don't need this layer anymore, but I will keep it just in case. Let's do the contrast again. Actually, let's screen it and then go to contrast. And then just raise the contrast a little bit. I'm gonna go for, well, I should go 35 again, but I'm gonna go for 35 plus 15, is that 50? I'm gonna go for 50. Because I raised the contrast on this twice. Once 35 and once 15. Add that together, 50. Quick math. I already hear noise upstairs. Hopefully nobody comes while I'm recording and bothers me. Alright, so now I'm just adjusting this. And this is what I wanted. Simply. That's just it reversed. I'm wasting recording time. How long has it been? 17 minutes? Not bad. But no, in order to do this, all I have to do is duplicate this. All this time I'm trying to be considerate, and people that made this doesn't even care. It's literally flipped. See? Oh boy, that was a waste of time. But that's okay. I'll save it. Oops. I'll save it. Export it. And there we go. Perfect copy of each other. Now let's take this image, because I really want, mostly I just want this part. I'm gonna see if I could edit it a little bit, but I really just want this part. Now I'm just gonna cut this part out, and now I really don't need this layer, so I could just, and now I'm gonna get this first file we had, this first image, and I'm going to cut this part. Delete that and paste it. So now we have, let's put them under these two layers here, our folds. And now we have this. So what I'm going to do is zoom in. Okay, what I'm gonna do is zoom in. Since I really don't feel like I need to edit this much, I'm going to remove. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one. I'm just gonna crop this out. Or cut and paste, as people would like to call it. Cut and paste. And I really don't need this. At first I wanted it, but then I'm like, it's too, I'll just put it in the bottom layer in case I'll need it later. Let's save. And now I am going to take the top part of this. I need to pause real quick. Okay, so I noticed something. Even though I don't speak Japanese, I really don't know what these say. Mind you, I don't know what these shoulder things say. So I'm gonna replace the text here with Open as layer. Let me see. It's top. There it is. I'm gonna use this. Let's invert it. Get it white. And basically that's Japanese for the word hentai. So I'm gonna see what I can do here. Matter of fact, let me do another. Okay, I had to go and grab a quick image on the internet. Didn't want to take up too much space looking for an image. So what I'm gonna do is copy this. It's the same characters as this. Same character. Yeah. Okay, I had to double check to make sure it is. And I'm gonna use that now for the easy part, which is setting this to screen. And from the looks of it, I do not need to do any adjusting. I'm gonna do some adjusting anyway, just in case. Let's put the contrast level, oh, wrong layer. Let's put the contrast layer to, let's put it to about 20. Can never be too safe. And then we shrink it, but we're putting it here because this is the front of the shirt. And I hope I'm not wrong. So how big is it on his shirt? Okay, it's not that big. So shrink it a little bit. And where is it? Exactly, it is a little bit below, like right around the chest area. But on IMVU, the chest area is usually glitchy. So if that occurs, I'm going to reposition it, of course. I'm sharpening it right now. I feel like the word hentai is a little too blurry. Now, that was the back of the shirt. I am upset. All this time I said this was, whatever. I should have known. I should have known better. That's alright, everyone makes mistakes. That's the front of the shirt. And there it says hentai. I feel like it's a little too big. Oh, it is too big. So what I'm going to do is duplicate it, bring it down here, save for later. Shrink this a little bit more. It is 7:25 a.m. So this is about where I want it. And let's put the text underneath now. This text, which I could leave this size if I want, but let's duplicate. And I have a lot of layers. It's good to name your layers. So let's do that real quick. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore either, but I'll keep it because I feel like I have one more use for it. So this is junk too. So let's put sleeve text. I think that's the right. So right arm. Sleeve text left. Hentai front. Hentai kanji front. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna name for now. Let's set this to screen so we can see how much we need to adjust the contrast. And let's look. I know this is gonna need a lot of contrast, but I'll go about, ooh, this needs a lot of contrast. I'm gonna have to go about 55 and put the brightness a little lower, 15. And what I'm gonna do now is shrink it a little bit. What does Ugly Gods look like? It's not that much smaller. So now it says hentai basically. And then you just put that underneath. Let's sharpen it a little bit. Export. very simple shirt. And I don't know what else to add to it. Well, I know the final touch is what I'm going to add to it. One thing you got to make sure you have on your shirts is a collar and seams. You want seams, okay? You want seams where the arms are, and you definitely want a collar. And you want seams where the sleeves are. Because if you look at a real shirt, they always have collars and seams. Nothing is truly seamless. Alright, so let's test out what it would look like with this, because I feel like this is much better. And let me delete this part. You guys can't see it. There's a little white part there. I'm pretty sure you guys can see it if I could see it. So what I'm going to do is screen. I'm not going to edit it too much. I'm just going to leave it like that. Screen, color, contrast. Get the contrast. Oh, needed a lot of contrast. So let's get it to about like 60 was good. I'm going to get the brightness down a little bit. 10. Before, after. Okay, the brightness the contrast is too much, but the brightness is fine. Uh-oh. 35. Yep, 35 is fine. Alright, let me save a copy of this layer. And let's name this layer, which by the way, you don't gotta name, it just helps you organize your files better. Let's name it to random kanji that I have no idea what it says, but since IMVU is not a Japanese company, I'm pretty sure as long as this doesn't say anything too crazy, I should be okay. But it has to go AP though, I know that for a fact. It basically stands for Japanese cartoon porn. And yeah, so let's test this out. It applied really well to the shirt. I'm gonna actually keep it. And with this other text, I'm gonna put it on the back of this shirt. This text here, let's change it to kanji text back. And let's move it to about here. Back of the shirt. Because I usually don't like blank backs on my shirt. It has to have a little something. So boom. Oh, little off center. Little off center. Doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but I want it centered at as best as it can be. Boom, right there. Looking very fresh. So now it's practically done. It's a very basic shirt. You have to accessorize it yourself. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a tag. Okay, let's look up shirt tag. Images. So the shirt tag I want is sort of like this. That's the sort of shirt tag I want. Okay, I want one that to show. Okay, that's cool and all. I want one to show on the. What am I saying? I want one to show on the shirt. Pretty much having my logo on it, right there. So I'm gonna basically draw that myself, because why not? It's not hard. All you have to, especially this is already a black shirt. So what I'm gonna do is grab my logo from here. Let's duplicate it. All right. V for Vladdy, of course, or Vladimir. And since this is supposed to be a black and white shirt, let me sharpen that. Since this is supposed to be a black and white shirt, I just removed the color. You don't need this color just sitting there. It's still my logo, just black and white now. And then you could put this, I like to put it on the side of the shirt, like somewhere unnoticeable. Like I'll shrink it a little bit more. Nah, it's too small. It has to be like this. And I'll put it right around here. Okay. Boom. See, right there. I'm about to move it over a little bit. Alright, that's fine. You don't gotta see it, just know it's there. Because my other shirt has that exact same one. I could have put it actually up here, which I might just do. Well, I will do. Open, paste. Okay, it's a little blurry, but it's still a good shirt, and I mimic it perfectly. That's about it. Let me save. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will make more tutorials. I plan on making a couple of t-shirts. I only make one tutorial for a clothing item, but I plan on making a t-shirt tutorial and a tutorial for jeans and one for shoes, which is going to be hard. It's going to be actually I'm really good at making shoes, but I'm not going to submit any because it's hard to hand draw sneakers of anything of this sort. But yeah, so thank you for watching. If you're a male watching this, buy my shirt. If you're a female watching this, buy this shirt for a male friend. It's really cool, especially if they like Ugly God. You're gonna see me rocking the hell out of this shirt for a couple of days until I make my new product. But thank you all for watching, and I'm out.